She is a motley Kahl albino, 100% het leopard with possible jungle in there. I don't think I've ever proved that to jungle, but she's spectacular. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Merrells Serpents Daily. Sitting out by my pool here on this beautiful weekend day. It's gorgeous here in Cape Coral. I don't know if it's getting cold up north yet. I haven't been up there, but it's certainly still very hot here and we are enjoying our pool. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. And I had to do a little boa moving. Yep, we're moving stuff around. We're taking our girls that have been growing up and maybe are about 2 years old plus, moving them into slightly bigger enclosures. I'll be looking at some females that maybe I'm going to be selling. I have some breeders that I'm going to be selling. Make room for the young crop that's up and coming. So this is a great opportunity for you guys. If anyone wants to grab a couple breeders or a breeder female boa, those are very rare these days. I will be putting a few up for sale on my Morph Market account, or you can contact me directly if you see anything in this video that you really like. All right, and you never know what else we might find as well. So stay tuned. We're going into the snake room. All right, we got a little surprise in the mail. I actually did a trade, and with Ralph from Breeder Boas, I sent him a couple snakes. He sent me a pair of Dumeril'S Boas. It's one kind of boa I didn't have in my collection prior to this. Now I do. The good thing is that they're actually not babies. They're actually a couple years old already, and which is going to be that much closer to actually being able to breed them at some point in the future. And they're in the bags here. We're going to take them out of the bags. I'm going to put them in. I'm setting them up right here. And these are our freedom breeders. These are not 4-foot bins, but they're much bigger than like a ball python D70. Plenty of room, as you can see here. For these size snakes, they're going to do great in here. Let's pull them out. All right, here's snake number one, Dumeril 1. Let's get it over here. Beautiful, they're beautiful snakes. Obviously coming from Madagascar. And they got a really unique pattern. Always wanted some, just never pulled the trigger on them, and now I got two. So here's one of them. We're gonna let him settle in. And I gotta ask him which one's which. I don't remember which one's the male, which one's the female. I guess I can sex him. Let me try. That's definitely the male. Just sexed him. Once again, you can sex them like you sex any boa. You just rub your hand along the bottom part, the ventral part of the tail there, and you can feel the two bumps, and it's their male. So we'll put him back in here and let him settle in. And now we're gonna grab our female. All right, our female's a little older than the male, which is good. She's a year older, which means, you know, the females have to be older anyway to breed. So she's got some nice reds in her. Let's put her in here. They kind of like almost blend in with the cocoa blocks I have here. She's gonna go right into that hide, head over to the heat probably. They had a long trip, not too long, from Georgia. Georgia's not too far from Florida. And we're gonna let them settle in and rest up. Thank you, Ralph from Breeder Boas. And hopefully you're very happy with what I sent you. And this is our little Dumeril experiment. All right, it's the War of the Worlds. Who's gonna get this quail? Uh-oh, here they come. Here come the challengers. Uh-oh. Is it gonna be a tug-o-war? Who wants that quail more than the other one? I know the female would rather just come out and play with me. She doesn't even care about the food. They're playing quiet for the camera.
Yeah, well,
as soon as one grabs them, yeah, they gotta go crazy. All right. They actually really do like coming out and playing. They can care less about the food right now. Come on, guys. Oh, okay. You got it.
I don't even want to go and take it from
I don't think she's getting anything taken away from her. She turned her back on him. Oh, you want one now too? All right. Here comes Pablo. Bet you can leave it there, he'll grab it. Put it on the on cement block, see who takes it. Let's see who gets it first. If it's a girl, go get it. Yep, she's going to get another one. No, maybe not. She just wants to come out, I'm telling you. She can care less about it. She can care less about the food. She just wants to hang out with Daddy. Say hi. Ah, look at my crystal female. She's put on some really nice size. And blue eyes. Hypo crystal. You know, she wasn't doing well when we first got her. First started, feeding her. She had a little stretch where she didn't eat, and she's been rock solid since then. Really, really beautiful looking. A lot different than our other crystals. You notice our other crystals, Pablo, are really much whiter than her.
Yeah.
She's almost like she's got some brown tinges in her almost. Like, it's amazing how we always say the labbies are all different looking, but the crystals are all different looking too. I mean, look at that stripe. I mean, usually it's a pink stripe. She's got like almost like a brownish stripe in her. And she has the blue eye, but she's very different than my other crystals. Here is one of my favorite labyrinth boas that I have. This is a labby that's het sharp albino. I got it from Jeff Ronnie years ago. Haven't bred her yet. We've been saving her. This is going to be the first year that we're going to probably put a male with her and see if we get some babies from her. Get some albino labbies. She is gorgeous. You can see her labyrinth pattern is really, really explicit because she has no hypogene in there. And the hypogene a lot of times stretches it out or erases it a little bit. She is perfect in every sense, and hopefully we're going to get her to breed this year and make some really nice, in the first generation, albino labbies. All right, we're setting up the diamond python enclosure outside here. Pablo just cutting down some of we have a bunch of branches still from the hurricane from last year, actually. And Pablo just cut this down to size so we can get this big branch into this cage. I think you're gonna need to cut it. You don't think you need to cut it more? Huh? Oh, you want to put it that way? Mm. And then you got to, and then put something across so they can get to the opening?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Kind of like a tree. It looks like a tree rather than just like a cross branch. That's kind of cool. All right, I think this is going to do it. I think we got the setup done. We got a bunch of cross branches. We got branches they can get from the ground up to all levels, up to here. They can use this branch to get into here, into the hide box. Here's a little nesting box, which we built really for the bones, but we're going to fill this with some cocoa blocks too. And this way they'll be able to have that. Everyone to hide in there. So they got two hides really, which is kind of cool. I think we're gonna get the female diamond pythons and we're gonna put them out here. See how they do. Maybe we'll put the male too. I don't know, haven't decided. See how they look. All right, I decided to put all the diamond pythons in here, including the male. Male's not really that small. He's a little thinner than the females. There's one female. That's my Stardust. There's my male. And then there's the other female. So everyone looks pretty good. Now the question is, hopefully they'll get along. And we'll have to see how they do. And we'll keep you guys updated on this beautiful outdoor enclosure. Thanks, Chase Anderson, for building this thing for me. All right, one day later, the Dumeril'S Boas are settling in here. They're looking really nice. This one's got a lot of red. This is kind of a red line. There's no real morphs in Dumeril'S, but they have a lot of line bred polygenic traits that people are trying to breed for. This one's got more of the red line in it. And super nice. And they seem to like to bury themselves. And look, this one's all buried. in the cocoa. So obviously, I mean, they have a hide box I gave them, but they obviously don't want to be on the heat. So they're just kind of burying themselves in the substrate. And that's probably what they would do in Madagascar too. They would be like ambush predators. They'd hide, kind of blend in with the substrate, and then if an unsuspecting mouse or rodent walks by, they'll snag it. All right, we set up a couple more cages here. I really like these Freedom Breeder cages. You get 8 in a stack here. They're really big. Most of the females can stay in here until they're super big, and some of them will never get big enough that they'll need to go into the 4-footers. But she's got plenty of room. We just moved her in. This is my red dragon female, and this is a call line. That's what we call the red dragon. It would be called the fire opal if it was a sharp line. And you can see I have I even bought the Freedom Breeder thermostats, the little bracket so it holds it, so you can kind of easily access the panel there. And they even have locks. These little things lock the cages. We have one snake. I'll show you. It's a escape artist, and not her, but she's looking very cute. Very cute in her new cage. Here's our VPIT positive IMG. So this is increasing melanistic gene combined with the VPIT positive albino. Usually you get a black snake, but you're not going to get a black snake with a VPIT positive because it takes away some of the melanin. This is, I think this is about as dark as she's going to get, to be honest with you, because this snake is 2021, so we're at 2.5 years old here. Hopefully, maybe next year she'll breed. She's going to need 1 more year at least. She's beautiful though. Look at that little head spear. Kind of interesting the way the IMG gene kind of fills it in a little bit, but the VPIT positive takes away enough of the melanin that it kind of has that chocolatey appearance. And then we have our Scoria IMG, the darkest Scoria I've ever seen, that has no other genes in it except for Scoria and IMG. Usually the IMG Scorias don't get this dark. This one did. Once again, this is a female from 2021, and she's my holdback, obviously. She's just wacky looking. I should just put her in a display enclosure. She's just so cool looking. Even if we never even breed her, who cares, I'm sure I will breed her, but she's just a really cool looking animal. And she's in a nice big cage now, so she's got a lot more room to move around. And we'll be setting up these other ones. When you have these cocoa blocks, you have to, basically what Pablo does is he cuts the top of the bag open. He then puts them in the sink and he fills them with water, so the water will separate, because this is like a hard rock. And what happens over about a couple hours is this stuff will all break up, and then what happens is the water gets absorbed into this, falls apart, and then we can kind of put it in the cages. But he'll go, you can only mix up so much at a time. I can't believe we had 250 blocks of this stuff, and I mean we still have a decent amount left, but I mean we probably went through over half of them for sure. So if anyone's in the area and needs cocoa blocks, let me know. I'm a distributor of cocoa blocks with Freedom Breeder. And here's our male that Pablo had to lock in here because he's an escape artist. He's 100% het blood, 100% het sterling, 50% het Annery too. He's got a little bit of Hog Island blood in him as well. He's my breeder male who hasn't done the job yet, but we're going to try to produce sterling bloods next year. The female is huge. But this male has escaped from all these vision cages. He opens the cage by himself. I had never seen a snake do it before, but he's done it enough times to Pablo now that he's a menace. So we gave him he upgraded himself to a bigger enclosure, and he gets a lock on his cage. So it's pretty easy they're pretty ingenious the way these things work. So you basically just hook these in here, you push them down, and there's no way they can open these cages up. Really good locking system. All right, we'll just finish up today with the breeder female I'm going to be putting up for sale. This is a spectacular girl who's given me many great litters, so 2 or 3 litters over the years, and we're just making room for the new stuff. She is a motley Kal albino, 100% het leopard with possible jungle in there. I don't think I've ever proved that to jungle, but she's spectacular. She is So nice. Got it from Joe Consolini a bunch of years ago at the reptile show in White Plains. And she's a total sweetheart. We even have a name for her, Pinky, right? Because she used to have a pink tail when we got her. And her tail is not quite as pink as it used to be, but it was very pink when we got her. And just an exquisite looking, great eyes, very healthy, always eats. And like I said, very dependable in terms of breeding. If anyone's interested, hit me up and we could talk. All right, he has a beautiful Call albino, possible super hypo. And she did breed once for me. And we got some really nice babies. I believe they were all hypo, so she's probably is super hypo. Call albino, so super sun glow. She's possible het anery or het moon glow. I didn't breed her to anything that would prove that out, so haven't done that yet. She's got great size. She's an awesome eater. She'll even eat small rabbits. You know, occasionally we'll throw her. So our one, once again, we're making some more room. She's a beautiful albino. If anyone's interested, hit me up and we can make a deal for her. She'll breed this year easily. All right, here's our patternless or disappearing, vanishing pattern, as Vin Russo calls it, hypo blood, that I got from Vin Russo a bunch of years ago. She's bred for me several times, proven breeder, gorgeous female. She's also het anery, 100% het anery too. And once again, she does produce a lot of bloods that have that vanishing pattern. In other words, she's not vanishing pattern, but when you have babies, and I'll show you one of her babies that have grown up, they lose their pattern. It's like a disappearing pattern. It's almost like, it's not a patternless, but it's like Vin says, it's a vanishing pattern. It just kind of is obscured. When they're born, they look like they have no pattern whatsoever, and then they get a little bit of pattern as they get older. But she's a very, very good eater. She's very healthy. She's probably given me 3 litters over the years, and it's time to move on. If anyone's interested, hit me up. So here's one of her babies that she produced back in 18. I think that was her first litter, or maybe second litter. And you can see this thing, when it was born, it was just like bright red. When bloods get a little older, the hypo bloods, they'll get a little darker, but you can see she has no pattern whatsoever. And it's just like little hints of saddle left. Trying to breed her this year. Hopefully we'll get some babies. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. If you see any nice boa breeders that I am selling and you want to pick them up, contact me directly, because they may not even make it to morph market. You never know. My overpopulation of my snake group is your guys' advantage. You guys can pick up some really nice breeders that have given me some nice litters over the years, and will continue to give you guys some litters over the next several years as well. And we have an escaped snake. I showed you my Moonglow carpet that we moved to a nice enclosure. He's out, so hopefully we'll be able to catch him over the next couple of days. I think we have, oh no, I might have something coming this week. I'm not sure, I haven't decided yet. I got to send out a few snakes on Monday, which is today, I guess technically when this video goes up. And you know, everything's good. But we're setting up our, I want to know what I want to say. We're setting up our 2-foot enclosures this week. So you'll get a full tour of all the cages that we've set up over the last couple of weeks, and all the animals that we've moved into them. Obviously the diamond pythons are doing great outside, and I'm super excited about that too. All right, guys, I guess that's it for today. As we say every day, if you like what you're watching, show us the love. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back tomorrow morning.